So after Texas becomes an independent territory, right, and this puts Mexico in a weaker position against the United States. Now, in the United States, they had about 22 million people. In Mexico, they had about 7 million people. So what ends up happening is you have President Santa Anna in Mexico, and then you have James K. Polk in the United States. So James K. Polk puts his United States military on the Mexican side of the Rio Grande. Eventually, shots are fired. James K. Polk says that American has died on American soil by the hands of a Mexican, which is really untrue because they were in Mexico. Then this brings them to war in Mexico. The story ends with Santa Anna being forced, because he couldn't really fight a war, even though he tried, him having to sell the western states of the United States for $15 million. And as a result, a lot of the Hispanic people that were in Mexico would now become American. Now, mind you, during this time period, about 20 years or 15 years before the Civil War, slavery is still legal, and the Anglo-Saxons, they wanted to enslave the Mexicans. So what ended up happening was they passed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which basically gave them all of the land in exchange for as a legal status that the United States would consider. Things got so bad for the Mayans of Yucatan during this time period, and they were put in this servitude and having to do all of this backbreaking work. Their women were beaten, the men were beaten, they had to work in these fields, and they had these overseers that would just beat them and mistreat them and even unalive them. So what began to take place was one happening where an entire Mayan village named of Tepec was completely wiped out of men, women, children, and even the elderly. And the whites, him and the Mestitos, murdered all of these people. So the Mayans are going to start a caste war, which lasts for a very long time, where they try to expel all of the whites and all of the Mestitos out of the Yucatan by unaliving them. So after Texas becomes an independent territory, right, and this puts Mexico in a weaker position.